11:03 EST, and it's time for Mike and me. Mike threw out a question about EEM. It's an ETF on emerging markets. And he said, Dale, if you look at the chart, you'll see why. Yeah, it's a great looking chart. Uh, perhaps, you could look at something like this. Um, yeah, maybe it's not the ideal currency to look at, but these are not emerging market currencies, but basically it's a dollar in inverse. It's a dollar play because as the dollar weakens, emerging markets have been cramped for years because they have dollar denominated debt and it's hard for them to pay it off, squeezes their finances when the dollar's strong and takes pressure off their balance sheets when the dollar is weaker. So if you're a believer like I am in a long-term bear market in the dollar, even though EEM has made a nice move, it's definitely not over, in my opinion. It might be just beginning. This looks like a nice breakout over 42. I don't think you should see a trade under 42. So you even have a nice stop loss point if you want to buy this today. Because actually, Mike, I thought the dollar might. I was looking for this week to be a breather, and so far, not much of a breather in euro.
Why would you pick just a particular time for the breather? Was it a seasonality thing? Was it an indicator? I mean, why would you? I mean, are you going by a calendar or by how the indicator sets up?
Just by some technical stuff that I look
Okay,
at that we
all right.
could have, that we may be completing this whole wave that started at 5,400 might be completing. It's been one great wave.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if the market took a breather and pulled back like 38% or something, for it to pull back to 56 is not the end of the world. It would actually be healthy.
Sure. Concur.
And then we continue our march up towards 6,000. So, a lot of people are looking to top pick it on a number between like Steve on Friday, 58, 55 was his number. And then some other guys I respect have numbers up to 61, even
Mhm.
63. And, instead of all this mental masturbation of trying to figure out the number, I think I'll see it through price action.
Sure. That's why,
Um,
I mean, what it was, I just wanted to know if your indicator, why was it indicated on, you said this week, so it was, I
yeah,
didn't know what the anticipatory indicator was. I
yeah,
know certainly you go price action, so that's why I didn't,
yeah, that's why.
I thought
And
maybe I
then
missed something.
Then in NASDAQ, when I posted in the room that we had a little three drive, here's 1, 2, 3. So far, all it did was work for a scalp. It
Right.
wasn't a bad scalp, 100
No, no, no.
points in NAS. But that's about it. I
Which
thought gold might take a breather. That's not happening. It's just going to keep
I'm
going till it's
adding
complete.
aggressively as I speak.
What's that?
Adding aggressively as I speak. It's literally what I'm doing.
Oh, adding aggressively.
AAGQ,
Okay.
SVM. You know this. Look at this symbol, Coach. I want your opinion.
Well, I'll
SV.
I'll give you my opinion of silver. Um, this is not the kind of formation I would buy into because, you know, I'm not saying we can't rally another buck
Okay.
or two, but I think this is also completing something and will correct. Look at the RSI. So, but we are looking at the war definitely escalating in the Middle East. Now we have a new front with Hezbollah. And I heard from a commentator, she sounded pretty smart to me, and
Mhm.
people are asking her, well, what's going to go on? I know you don't care about this stuff, but
I'm listening. What's going
a,
to go on? I hear
a
you.
lot of people care that she said if Israel is too successful at decapitating Hezbollah, that Hezbollah is like to us would be like our homeowners insurance. It's
Gotcha.
Iran's insurance on that front. and they've been paying that insurance policy out for many, many years. A lot of money from Iran's gone to Hezbollah. So if they're on the verge of collapse, that might force Iran's hand to intervene. And then I talked to guys like Adam Button, who says he doesn't think Iran is going to do anything, or they would have done it by now. So, that's just, serious cocktail talk. Just trade the charts. But I wouldn't be adding aggressively, but like you say, the biggest moves are at the end. I think we're coming close to completing something at 32 or so. Let me
Sure,
just
all
look
right.
at
I
let
got
me
you.
just look at some of the silver charts. How are they acting? Oh, they're acting good.
Look at SVM. How can you argue with this?
SILJ about to make new highs. Yeah,
Oh, I'm
everything's
telling you, Coach,
silver looks much better than gold, that's for sure.
they're
So,
off, calls are off the board. I like you said, price action.
yeah,
I'm just telling you what's going on. It could be, I don't care. It could be palladium. I'm adding to silver here. Calls are off the board. They're breaking highs. I don't know what to say.
okay. You don't have to defend. You almost sound defensive about what you're doing. Is it because I took a shot at the short side of gold today? Is that why? I mean, I never influence your trading, so it's fine. You asked me my opinion. I wouldn't be aggressively adding, but it looks like silver wants to just take out these highs, make new highs for the move. That's very possible.
You look at GDX, look at GDX or GDXJ.
Okay, I'll pull up GDX.
You're telling me you wouldn't add to that stock, Coach?
No,
Even if you draw one of those lines going all the way to a channel. All right, noted. Next, we'll
you
move
know,
on. That's why
I
there's a
wouldn't.
bid and ask.
Yeah, I wouldn't add up here. So, and look, I'm far from the trading messiah, but I look at this and really, when you think about it, here's July, so we're in October. So I know it looks great, everything that, it's on gold shares making new highs, but we were at 39 mid-July. We're almost in October, and so what? It's
So why does
advanced to
I don't, I'm
it.
looking at where a stock is going, not where it's been.
Well, I'm just saying that the progress that it's made has been labored. So
Sure.
that's my point. So good luck on the trading, and I just have one thing to update our viewers on. The objective in natural gas was achieved when I went into it. I was talking about 260. All right, that was the measured move from like, um, down here 180 to 220, pulled back to 220, the breakout. So the 40 cents that it measured was 260. Boom, it's there. I'm not saying that it can't just keep blowing, but that was the target when I called out the long down here at about 30% in a few weeks, 30-40%. So I'm out, and that's it. So that's in it. Next is where I'm at. So I saw yesterday in the chat you had some shares that there were calls. Was it PALD or
APLD.
APLD? Okay, so here are the charts, Mike.
Oh, thanks. Okay. All right. As we go to the charts here, I'll go to my main screen in a second. Here's my main screen, give a flash, but I want everybody to concentrate on some charts. Okay. Now, getting back to TradeGATEHub, I would implore everybody to please go through the data. And the data is that the hedge funds are aggressively more short on individual names than they have been in some time, and a large sample size. So with me, as you know, I don't really trade a lot of indices. I did ask Coach about EEM for a reason. I know it's an ETF. I think it's more macro. With that being said, it's all stocks. For me, I look at What do we, oh, stock, LVS. Stock that,
Oh yeah.
we bought yesterday. Okay, can we even look at a small low floater? WVE. I mean, this stock like this, and now hold on, this is only a daily. You go back to a weekly, stock was $60. And by the way, has good news. So even if what else? I point to SVM is the one I'm long a ton of. I'm
Okay,
actually
this is
long
a
one.
silver chart,
I'm only
a
Silver
silver
Corp Metals
miner.
Corporation. I don't know what it is,
It's
but
a
all I know is
silver.
it had volume. Yes, I'm serious. I don't.
It's not
Silver.
a
It has
miner.
silver in it. But this is the daily. This is the weekly. I think it's just getting going compared to the RSI. If it breaks that,
Yeah, maybe
okay.
you're right.
What else? So AGQ buying before we came on here. There's the weekly, but let's go to the daily. All right. If this was Tesla, I'd be buying it. I might be wrong too. All I know is calls are going off the board. The chart looks good. It's breaking out. Yes, am I top ticking it? Maybe. But you know what? I know where my loss is. I know where my trade is. There's the weekly, breaking everything with volume on the weekly. The coach, I don't care that they make widgets. I get it. Maybe you wouldn't be buying it here. By the way, I started buying a little bit early. I'm not going to go off here and start a basket and add 20% across the board on silver. But let me just go right here again. It may not work, but you're a believer in the calls after all this time. Okay, PD, okay, let's go to this. Let me finish on silver.
AG. I saw AG.
Yeah, AG.
That was a wise guy, so that meant nothing.
No, hold on. Silver bullish, pages of silver. EM cheap, please. That's why I asked you. Well, you know what? The silver trade was earlier.
Yeah. They're
Uber.
almost the same trades because a weak dollar translates into stronger silver. Weak dollar translates into stronger emerging markets. It's all really revolving around the dollar.
Oh, shit. I had a good point here. Now, I was talking about how hedge funds are short individual names, and I had this talk aggressively with Surf's Up Alexis. Here's an example. Okay. Now, Coles, bullish wise guy action, October. Coles. 2 days ago, I said to this, I said, I'm short this. When I thought the market might, the market might have been a little bit extended. This stock was breaking a year low as the market, the spies, looked like they might have put whatever, a top in, island top, with volume. So I said, okay, maybe the market's going to pull a little back a little bit. So I'm looking at Coles and I tell Surf's Up, but this is what happens. Now they're taking advantage of it. They're buying calls on calls. They're squeezing everybody.
Yeah.
1780 to 20. Jwin
What
is in
what is this company?
Kohl's. They're a
Kohl's,
department
okay.
store,
Yeah,
big box
yeah.
retailer. Jwin. This is the biggest dog of them all. I'm buying more. Actually, in the fund, I'm long it here. What my point is this: CF, a grain with China. China, big news today. That might just be getting started, coach. That's a grain, an ag. You kidding me? And this has got the move in it.
Yeah, the grains look good. I
All
like
right,
the
so
grains.
let's go. I digress. At China, how about Baba? We know, it's long in here in the fund.
Yeah.
JD, they're doing it. JD, TradeGATEHub Marketing is doing a video right now. How my finger was almost worn off of my freaking fingerprints from pressing JD so many times of how many calls it's been taking. Literally, I didn't make it up. You never have enough. By the way, I do have a lot of this one. What is this? I had the ancillary ones. I had 40,000 go to. I made a
Yeah.
nice trade, thank God.
I heard China's actions yesterday were really throwing the kitchen sink in, so they're trying.
All right, there's Alcoa. I bought that yesterday in the fund. I added to it. Came right back down beautifully to the 200 day. Got lucky. There was China news. I get it, but you know what? I don't care. 1 minute. CAPR. I just want to point out one more thing, and I'm going to leave. Aside from stocks like this is really the key, coach, of why I started playing this. The speculation's not out of the punch bowl. This is children's place. Even the stock that's bankrupt that went from we quadrupled still can't rest and come in. That tells me the speculation is still rampant.
Yeah.
That's the barometer. That is more barometer for me than Apple. Although APP, the new breeds, still parabolic. Well, okay, this isn't a new breed, coach. I say this no Uber.
Blow off.
Okay, that's fine. Noted. No problem. All I know is this, man. They're freaking pounding China calls. Pounding Billy. You don't want to fight this. Maybe it goes up a little. Who knows? Hold
Yeah,
on. You
that
never
looks.
know.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a lot of people short,
So I'm just trying,
wrong-footed.
there's the VIX. So, coach, like I said, I listen to you. I'm not placating. I'll listen to your videos. I'll go listen to the Pivot King again. But right now, Scott's Miracle Grow is going nuts. I'm writing it down. Boeing, did it bounce and did it work? Boeing didn't work. I'm not in it, thank God. Amazon calls off the board. I'm in that. That pause. What else? APLD told me it's stalling. I have a lot. Actually, I had 30,000 coming in. I sold a ton of it, pounding the sell. It didn't work. It probably will, but some of them are working. Uh, anyway, I'll move on. I'm going to stop pontificating. Bitcoin is resting a little bit. Europe's going to close. And, I'm just going to this, it doesn't really matter because no matter what style, right here, go to what's moving. I'm done pontificating. I got to go to new things. WEV, I mentioned. CAPR, I mentioned in the room yesterday. Lotto, AAOI. Look at this. I don't care if it's speculation or what. It's breakout. The dog. It's a dog, coach. You know what? But it freaking tripled. 6, 12, 8. Yeah. Basically tripled.
Yeah.
All right. So I get it. I'm aware that Google is, it doesn't, the indices don't matter to me. Probably should be.
I'm looking for 180 Google.
The smart thing to do is this not short the speculation. Google's the real trade here. Okay, so Apache bounced a little bit, not giving me enough. How about the other one?
Any Google sweeps to back
No,
up what I see technically? Okay.
no. Amazon, APP, KMB. Maybe this is more something. We'll go to KMB. KMB, nice looking bet this December. So if you don't want to, maybe you don't want to go on Google. KMB is the best of breed in that sector. I'm not saying there it is. I don't know. Maybe it's a good buy here. Maybe I should be putting some in the fund. I don't know. But this is my list right now. And if you told me, pardon me, it's high pollen season. Here's the list. Percent gainers intraday. Everything here. Let's go with 1 million shares at least. Okay. LI. Everything China. Cliff. FCX. I'm in that.
Yeah.
Oh, you never have a coach. I don't know what to think here. Now, let's talk. If I wasn't in it now, would I buy it? That's a hard, like you said with silver, I probably wouldn't know. But look, I don't know. Is that mean FCX is that's a major macro geopolitical stock that's driven by commodities, politics, the dollar. You think that's a short squeeze? Can they have that much power to squeeze that one? I don't know. Maybe it's part of I don't know.
Yeah, the copper chart put in a great day today.
Sure. And I know that's not, that's not.
I mean,
that's
look,
than
China's disappointed. Their reopenings, and then they had lockdowns there. Anyway, they've disappointed. This is really like kind of like a what was that Draghi moment where he said we'll do everything it takes. So this is what China's doing now. They really need to stimulate, and they're using bazookas. They need to. Let's hope it works because they were dragging the world down. So, I think it's great if China could get their economic engine going. It smacks a little bit of desperation. Sometimes the Fed could push on a string. Be careful in China, but it's probably
Of
one of the
course.
biggest contrarian trades on the board, right? Isn't that what Helene said?
To coach that, this is what I meant to say. All right, let me paraphrase. I actually tried to wrote something down. But this is the bottom line. there's elevated, there's elevated volatility. And the hedge funds, I said, are looking to, they're underexposed and they're looking to
Yeah,
get some
they're getting
exposure.
squeezed, hedge
And on
funds.
top of that, they're short individual needs. So, of
Yeah.
course we're
So how
extending.
do they stay in business if they're always the wrong way like this,
I
hedge
don't know.
funds?
I don't know. I don't know. But all I'm saying is I understand things are extended,
Why
but
do
these
people
type of
give them
moves
money if they're contrarian indicators? I don't
listen,
know.
coach, I don't like the real, I would rather go with the flow. But you have to be aware, and you're aware too. So is Helene. Even Helene says it's not to say even Helene. Helene says China, they're looking so you have to take advantage, coach. I mean, if you're a car enthusiast collector and you think a car is going to go for 1 million, it only goes for 800,000, you're not going to buy it, you know?
Yeah, it's still a bull market
Yeah,
till
coach,
it's not.
this is the last thing that came up on the feed. I'll answer your question. I thank God I answered it correctly. Not thank God. Why China Chase is so aggressive, you ask? Because they literally have zero exposure, and there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, see.
So hold on. So I understand. Maybe it's obviously lit. That's not silver. That's not edifying my trade. But for now, that's where I understand things are elevated. But I think you know underfunded or underinvested situations like this will keep some bids in the market. Not the
No one's
indices.
look, haven't I said S&P 6100 enough? You don't have to convince me that the market's going higher. In fact, at the beginning of the stream, I said a pullback would be healthy, and I'm talking indexes. So even when the indexes are down, you find stuff exploding. But yeah, I agree. But I think I do agree also with Steve that we could be in the eighth or ninth inning, and musical chairs. You. If anyone could win a game of musical chairs, you're quick. You could change your book instantaneously.
Okay.
So institutions can't.
No, no, no,
But
that's right. I
but
have
you
my,
but you can.
I have boutique. I have, I don't have 100 million of management. I have a
Yeah,
healthy 8 figures,
yeah.
and that's by the way, I could have. It's an egregious statement. I could probably have more, but that's I'm not. I'm a boutique restaurant. I'm not a caterer. I don't flush out 1,000 meals. Maybe I could. You come in there, you might pay a little bit. You tip aggressively. We know your name at TradeGATEHub. You walk out there happy, and you feel like you got treated in a first class facility. That's what we do. I'm not a caterer.
Okay, buddy. Oh, I want to remind people I have Bob Elliott coming on tomorrow. Bob, you may recognize the name. He's on CNBC quite a bit now, and he has his manages a fund. He has his own ETF, and be great to catch up with Bob. I haven't talked to him in many months, so that'll be at 10:30 a.m. EST tomorrow.
Well, that's definitely a listen. That's was something you put the bell aside, and you listen to that and not worry about nickels in the market when a discussion like that will gain you quarters, probably even dollars.
Look at SQQ's getting a bid, so that's part of the correction scenario I'm talking about. I'm not looking, for SQQ to go back to 10 or 11. I still think it'll go to new lows. I think it'll go under 7. But we'll see.
Yeah,
Um,
hold
yeah,
it.
so that uranium stocks heating up too,
Taking a breather.
breather.
And by the way, you want to see it's the greatest question you articulated to our audience when I put in all this option flow when they make a big run and they start to rest a little bit, preferably on silver high today, when they preferably rest on low volume. Are they taking calls to back it up? They're putting where their money mouth is instead of writing some specs. And that basically tells me APP October, September, EEM October. You want to see people go out January, Valero. Okay, that's interesting to me. That's an oil, and an oil is the one that's also, besides China, as you can edify, I'm not saying it's a trade, still to a degree, is underowned.
Yeah.
So if I have to trade China and I have to trade oils, fine. They're both trading groups. I'm in. If I have to rotate and short some Mag 7 stocks or buy some Qs because the rest of Google doesn't pop and go to 180, fine. I got it. I have a plan. It doesn't mean it's right, but we develop high level plans, and high level plans make high level adjustments. If you're one handicap golfer and you're playing with a pro, the pro is going to give you an adjustment to make you scratch golfer, not make you worse. That's what we do.
BLO 150 calls January.
All right, let's look. Let's look at Valero. I'll look at it. And this is what I would. Let me talk out loud when I hear Valero calls. I say Valero there. Okay, I'm not interested in that yet. Then I go to the other ones. I go to PXD. I go to PSX. I go to MPC. Nobody's
None of
really
them look
taking
good.
none of them. So I'm loading the Valero. Some guys in what? How much? 145,000 in January. I don't want to be arrogant. I could probably do that to build a position. Let's be honest. I'm not saying I'd sweep it in a day, but that doesn't do much to me because that could be mean. No
Well,
disrespect. But
here's a guy that's not expecting to be right today. He's
no,
going
no,
out to
no,
January.
no. But preferably you want the sector to pop and then start to adding other refiners and then to back up the Valero. That's
Yeah.
all. That's what you want to see, regardless of the entity.
Good point. Write that down, everybody. So that's how you analyze an option
Yeah,
market
correct.
as sector. Can you say that one more time
No,
slowly,
I
Mike?
forgot what I said. I swear to God.
Okay.
I said what
Well,
you
you
want to
do it all
do.
the time.
No, you know what? I will. That's unfair. I'll get back to it because it's innate anyway.
Right.
Something like Valero, where you see calls going out till January. What you want to do is have the sector pop, and we said that it is a refiner. Sometimes they don't necessarily go together, as you can see by the rest of the stocks. These are refiners. Here's Exxon. Here's Chevron. Oxy's trying. It's the worst of breed, of course. APA, Coach used the analogy. Maybe it's last year's TLT. It did. That's where they started bottoming. I'm not in it that much, and nor do I seething at it. But just like the question is, you want to see the sector pop, going back to Valero, and then starting to buy the sector, and then back up those Valeros in January or add to it. That's it. Or regardless, like I said, I think I left it off. Regardless of the entity, that is how you trade. I think that's almost verbatim.
Yeah, and if nat gas is peaking here, that's only wave one. So I'd be looking for retracement moves in nat gas to be a buyer. The next wave should even be bigger, because wave threes are money waves. They're normally 1.618. They could be 1.618 of wave one. So if this first wave was like 13 to 16, $3, the next one could be almost 5 from wherever it bottoms.
SU needs some rest. Buying more. This SU should be accumulated. Not should. Will be. It will.
Yeah.
Between 36 and 38 right here. I'm telling you, that's the one.
Okay.
Something's up.
Yeah.
One.
That looks okay. That looks okay.
Other one.
Buy it anywhere and hope it pulls back.
This is what you want to see, Coach. Baidu already making a run. They go this Baidu,
and they're still coming in.
Oh, Coach. They don't. This guy's planning on going a year cruising, coming back multiple wealthier.
June 25. That's right. That's what you want to see. That's a long-term view.
And by the way, let what makes me feel better is that they are going to a will you of proverbial best of breed. Doesn't look like it, but they're not really chasing a go-to, which I sold at 3. Go-to going back higher.
Yeah.
You know what I bought? Look at this. JKS I bought. JK Solar. JK Solar. Buy 800 more JK Solar. Right there. This is the one I like. By the way, this JK Solar was the most difficult trade of my career. My 28-29 career. Fact. Mike Lombardo might remember it. Before Surf's Up. This stock at one point had the highest RSI of holding over 85 in history. It literally, this doesn't do it justice. Look at the date. 9-1 to 10-1. Went from, this was the first gamma squeeze. Went from 19 to 90. That was
Yeah.
in it like 40,000 shares, man. And it wasn't how much I made, it was how much I was down. It was
What are those weekly candles?
monthly.
Monthly, okay.
I'm
Couple of
getting some
months,
of
that's
it.
hell of a move.
And I'm getting some of it right back here, JKS. And by the way, it's not a revenge trade. It makes sense.
Okay. All right.
Fire.
Well, Mike, do you know what the difference between God and doctors?
No.
God doesn't think he's a doctor.
No, I got you.
All right. Anyway,
I have all those cliches that about golf, like if you want to hit it one iron, hold it up in the air because only God can hit it. A lightning storm because only God can hit a one iron. You ever see a guy? You ever
that's
seen me
good.
walking around in a daze, mumbling some stock quotes and a one iron in my hand? You'll know I'm trying to avoid lightning.
Thanks, buddy. All
Thank
right.
you.
Nice review
Hey,
today,
listen,
Mike.
it's not how you start, it's how you finish, coach. Trade well.
Yeah, you too, bro.
Okay, thanks.
All
Cheers.
right. Come into the room. You're missing a lot if you're not in here.
Cheers, everyone.
Adios. Thanks, Mike.